It doesn't matter what plays you call if you don't have the personnel to run them. Lowe's Red Vest Associates can help you execute whatever home improvement project you've drawn up. On top of that, with the Lowe's app on in-store mode, it's easy to call your own number and find anything yourself. Or if you're really under pressure, order online before 2 p.m. and get it at home same day. Lowe's knows home improvement. Lowe's is an official partner of the NFL, same day valid on eligible in-stock items in select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase, exclusion, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same day delivery for details.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
It's time to get inside the Giants Huddle.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
On Giants.com.
I like it, I like it.
And the Giants mobile app.
Boom, give me some juice.
Part of the Giants Podcast Network.
Let's roll.
Welcome to the Giants Huddle podcast, brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the New York Giants. It's a Week 7 rapid reaction. My name is Madelyn Burke, alongside the Super Bowl champion Shaun O'Hara. The Giants are back at MetLife Stadium for a 1 p.m. matchup with the division rival Philadelphia Eagles. Falling to the Eagles 28-3 is the final score, Shaun. It's always a high-emotion game when you're playing a division game, but especially this one because it was the first time that Saquon Barkley, the man who leads the building in rushing yards at MetLife Stadium, coming in for the first time as a visitor.
Yeah, anytime we played the Eagles back when I was a player, this was always a physical game. You were always a little more sore than normal. Divisional games are always physical, but this one always has a little bit of a heated rivalry. So you add into the mix the Saquon aspect. And look, all week long, everybody tried to tone it down. Hey, listen, it's just another game. And it was not, clearly. And you could feel it. As soon as he touched the football, the very first play of the game, his first carry, Giants fans unloaded on him. And in turn, he unloaded on our defense. And I think the Giants' worst nightmare came to fruition today. Not just losing to the Philadelphia Eagles. That in itself hurts and it stings. But the fact that they did it because of Saquon, basically Saquon, he took over the game. And he had 176 yards rushing, averaged 10 yards a carry. And he had a rushing touchdown. He probably could have had 3 if they didn't do the tush push down on the goal line. So it was definitely Saquon's moment to kind of try to stick it to his former team. But I think the lack of offense, despite how good of a day Saquon had, really the most glaring thing was the inefficiency of the offense, and that's everybody has to wear that. That's on everybody. It's not just on Daniel Jones. It's not just on the offensive line. It's on Dable. It's on the receiver. It's on everybody because as an offense, you're playing as a unit. Right.
Well, and you mentioned, Saquon Barkley, 176 yards and a touchdown, but he had 3 multiple big gains. He had a 55-yard run, a 40-yard run, a couple 40-plus. And the Giants offense really struggled in getting those chunk plays and getting that kind of red zone offense going. And it shows. 3 points on the board for this Giants team. Of course, the narrative this week, we talked about it, the big news out of the Giants camp was that Andrew Thomas, the left tackle, out for the season, suffered a Lisfranc injury in his foot. He's going to be having surgery. The Giants put Josh Ezeudu in at left tackle. And not just Ezeudu, but the entire line was kind of folding a little bit in the fact that Daniel Jones is under pressure. The Eagles' defense put up 8 sacks on the day, 7 of them on DJ, 1 on Drew Lock, who came in the fourth quarter.
Huge blow to this Giants offense, losing Andrew Thomas. Look, he's been in the Pro Bowl the last couple of years. He's arguably one of their best players on the team. Certainly a captain, so it's not just his athletic ability, it's his leadership that they missed not having him out there. So coming into the game, that was going to be a focal point of the offense. How do we replace that? How do we protect Josh Ezeudu in a left tackle? And, of course, the game plan going in was, look, we can't throw the ball 45 times and put Ezeudu on an island and ask him, to do what Andrew Thomas had done previously. So there were definitely some tweaks with that. I thought Josh played pretty good. And, I'm going to have to watch the film to really kind of dive into, some of the technique stuff. He got beat for a sack. But he wasn't the only one. John Michael Schmitz gave up a sack. Devin Singletary whiffed on a cut block on a linebacker, and that was a sack. I thought there was a couple times where Daniel Jones had to hold on to the ball, so maybe that's a coverage sack. Maybe that's on the receivers. But the offensive line, I thought, when you look at the fact that you lose your best player, they still had some opportunities to score some points, but they just could not stay on the field. The fact that they can't convert on third down, that is the recipe for failure offensively, because that's when you get your rhythm, and that's how you kind of wear down the other team's defense by keeping them out on the field. And in turn, they were going 3 and out, punted on their first 6 possessions. That doesn't give your defense a lot of confidence that you're going to be able to score points and keep them in the game.
You're ready for a change. Payday comes early with Citizens, so go to that retreat. New You moves to the country. Now you're raising goats and launching a lifestyle brand. Are you ready for all that life brings?
It doesn't matter what plays you call if you don't have the personnel to run them. Lowe's Red Vest Associates can help you execute whatever home improvement project you've drawn up. On top of that, with the Lowe's app on in-store mode, it's easy to call your own number and find anything yourself. Or if you're really under pressure, order online before 2 p.m. and get it at home same day. Lowe's knows home improvement. Lowe's is an official partner of the NFL, same day valid on eligible in-stock items in select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase, exclusion, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same day delivery for details.
Right, exactly. The Giants finished 3 of 14 on third down. Now, the Eagles were just 1 of 13 on third down, but again, they converted fourth downs, including a touchdown, 4th and 3 at the 41. The Eagles go long, and they send it to A.J. Brown for a 41-yard touchdown. And it's plays like these, there are a couple of moments throughout the game that you think, if that play came back, because overall, the Giants defense did play a pretty good game. You look at the score and you think, okay, they gave up 28 points to the Eagles, but, they got a lot of pressure on Hurts. Dexter Lawrence, 2 sacks on the day. I mean, the Giants defense leading the league in sacks. Dex, 9 sacks on the season, already a career high, and it's week 7. And again, leading the team in sacks is the nose tackle. I mean, the defense had some really bright spots out there.
Yeah, they did. That 4th and 3 to A.J. Brown, I mean, that was a killer. And, look, as a corner for McLeod, he's probably sitting on the sticks, knowing it's 4th and 3, probably thinking it's a short route, and A.J. Brown runs right by him. So great play by them, but that just crushed the stadium. You could feel the energy. You think you're going to get a big stop, and they have the cojones to go for it on 4th and 3. Sirianni's, gambling, and it converts, and it pays off for them. So that was definitely a huge play, huge momentum swing. But in the first half, the pressure, as you mentioned, on Jalen Hurts, it was every single drive, and it was every third down. We were getting home. They were getting pressure on him. Dexter Lawrence with the sacks. Brian Burns had a sack. I think when you look at all the pressure that they gave, even just from the outside, there were some big hits going on. So this defense is playing spirited ball. Micah McFadden, again, continues his phenomenal season. He's all over the field. I thought Tyler Nubin had some big hits. He's made some big-time plays. They just can't seem to do it, long enough. And it's not always their fault. They're getting put into a lot of bad positions because the offense is so inept right now. So that's tough, and I know it's tough for them to keep playing with that same energy and that same vigor when you're out there. They were on the field for 35 minutes in this game. So it definitely wears on you. But defensively, I think they've got to be pretty proud of the pressure that they're applying. That was one of the big things that Shane Bowen was going to bring to this defense. And he talked about, we want to be violent. We want to be disruptive up front. We want to get in their backfield and cause havoc. They're doing that.
You love turf. You're good at it. So you start a turf biz. Business grows. Your savings grow. Become the most celebrated name in turf. Are you ready for all that life brings?
It doesn't matter what plays you call if you don't have the personnel to run them. Lowe's Red Vest Associates can help you execute whatever home improvement project you've drawn up. On top of that, with the Lowe's app on in-store mode, it's easy to call your own number and find anything yourself. Or if you're really under pressure, order online before 2 p.m. and get it at home same day. Lowe's knows home improvement. Lowe's is an official partner of the NFL, same day valid on eligible in-stock items in select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase, exclusion, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same day delivery for details.
Right. And, no matter how much they are on the field, Malik Neighbors, he talked about this after the game. Hey, if they're right back out on the field because the offense can't do enough to give them a break or a breath, at some point they're going to wear down. But the defense has been kind of the defining factor in the heartbeat of this Giants team. Malik Neighbors, of course, making his return to the field. He missed 2 games due to a concussion. Back on the field in the very first offensive play, Daniel Jones hits him, gets a first down. Neighbors finishes with 4 catches for 41 yards. No catches in the second half, though. Again, that offense kind of sputtered in the second half to the point in which Brian Daboll said, hey, you know what? I put in Drew Lock in the fourth quarter. They're trailing by 25, and he was just trying to ignite some sort of spark in the offense. But also part of that could have been a little bit of a, precautionary move.
Yeah, I think it was definitely twofold. Let's get Daniel Jones out of the game. The game's out of hand. We're down 25 points. Things aren't going well. We have our backup left tackle in there. Let's not put Daniel Jones out there and get him hurt, because if that happens, now everybody's saying, why is he still in the game? So there was that aspect of it. And then, you want to try to, hey, maybe Drew Lock can come in and make something happen. Maybe he runs for something. Maybe he completes a pass. I thought Daniel Jones in the second half got away from Neighbors because he was trying to make a big play. He forced a couple of throws deep. They were incomplete. One of them was intercepted. It was a offsides penalty that came back, so that's why he took the deep shot. But the Eagles' defense they were adamant about, you're not going to throw the ball over our heads. You're not going to get a big play through the air like that. So a lot of the underneath stuff was available. I was surprised that Neighbors didn't get more involved in the second half and get more opportunities. I know he's frustrated. I tell you, after missing 2 games, he picked up right where he left off. He looked great on that first drive. He is their spark plug. He is their identity offensively. And that's the guy that's going to have to drive this offense. He's going to have to be the guy to get everybody fired up. And they just can't get him the ball enough.
Absolutely, and it's still a tough loss for the Giants. 28-3 is the final score as the Giants fall to the Eagles in Week 7. And not just a tough loss because it's at home against a division rival, but now the Giants fall to 0-3 within the division. And they've got a bit of a long week ahead of them, though, because they are preparing for the Steelers on Monday Night Football in Week 8. Now, Pittsburgh, of course, is hosting the Jets on Sunday Night Football tonight in Week 7. They're going to be making a quarterback change, it looks like, going from Justin Fields to Russell Wilson, though.
Yeah, that'll be a big change offensively. Obviously, Justin Fields, his athletic ability and his running ability is a different set of skills than Russell Wilson. While Russell is still dangerous, his is kind of more of a reactive run as opposed to a designed run. But Russell Wilson's, he's a veteran in the league, and there isn't a lot that he hasn't seen. So that will be a big challenge. I think Najee Harris, after seeing what Saquon just did and the production he just had, Najee Harris is another back like Saquon. He can run through arm tackles. He can provide a big burst. So that will be, first and foremost, their emphasis is we got to stop the run. George Pickens is a large target. Pat Freiermuth is a great tight end. So they're going to have their hands full defensively, trying to slow down this offense. And then again, offensively, you got T.J. Watt. That's going to be a tough guy to block and handle. The Steelers always have a good defense, so that's going to be something that they're going to really have to have a good game plan for.
Absolutely. You mentioned the run game. I mean, the Giants give up 269 yards rushing to the Eagles in Week 7. We'll see if they can slow down the Steelers in Week 8, but we'll continue to monitor everything leading up to that game with all the latest on Giants.com and all of our programs. That's a wrap for a Week 7 rapid reaction. The Giants Huddle is brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the New York Giants. From game day celebrations to your everyday financial needs, Big Blue fans can get the most out of every moment with Citizens. Learn more at citizensbank.com/Giants. For Shaun O'Hara, I'm Madelyn Burke. We'll see you next time.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food, no matter what you're craving. From 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings. Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week all season long. Uber Eats, the official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now for game day. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.